Hey everyone, this is Judy with JLBCrafts. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. Today I wanted to go over in more detail what kiss cutting is and how you can do it yourself by hand. I posted a video recently, and I will link it in the cards up above, on how to make your own stickers, and I showed you how I made these 2 pages of stickers. This is just a binder that I purchased, 3-ring binder and some sheet protectors to start keeping my stickers in now that I'm making more of them. So, and I showed you very briefly in that video how to hand kiss cut stickers. So kiss cutting is just cutting through, all of your stickers are a sticker, either paper or clear, on a piece of backing paper. So when you kiss cut, all your Happy Planner stickers, all your other stickers, they're always kiss cut, which just means you cut through the sticker, but not through the backing. You can see this is one of the ones I cut in the video. So I wanted to talk more about, now that we've established exactly what kiss cutting is, which again is just cutting through the sticker part, but not the backing part. I wanted to talk about some techniques and tips to help you succeed at kiss cutting. So first of all, the right tools. You definitely want to go ahead and use a mat. Even though you're not going to purposely cut all the way through the sticker, it definitely happens. So you want to be using some kind of self-healing cutting mat or craft mat that is going to protect your work surface. You can get them at secondhand stores. I think I got this one at Tuesday Morning. You can get them at all the big craft stores. You can get them just about anywhere, and they're used for much more than just us planner folks. Quilters use rotary cutters to cut fabric on this. You can cut anything on this. The next thing is a straight edge. Even though you won't always be cutting straight stickers, you definitely want a straight edge. I highly recommend a metal straight edge as opposed to a plastic one. You can see I've got some cuts on this plastic one where my knife went crazy across and actually cut into the plastic one. So I would say avoid plastic, even though it's convenient to be able to see through it. It's not the best for using as a straight edge for craft knives, especially when they're super sharp. They can kind of bite into the plastic just a little bit and then pull themselves up on there. I would highly recommend a metal one. And if you're going to get a metal one, and you can get these at craft stores, at Walmart, anywhere. You might need to go to a slightly nicer store to find a metal one. You can use big ones, you can use teeny tiny little ones, whatever you need. If you're going to do a big sheet, I recommend a big one, because when you line up a point, the further away your points are that you're lining up, the more likely you are to be straight. When it comes to your straight edge, definitely pick one that does not have a cork backing, or any kind of backing really. You can see these 2 both have backings, and what that does is it adds a little bit of thickness, so your ruler isn't actually laying on the surface, and there's a little bit of a chance of being off in the angle of your knife against the straight edge. So try to find a metal ruler that can lay completely flat, doesn't have any kind of padding or backing, and will lay completely flat on the surface you're trying to cut when you're doing straight. The next tip is about the knives themselves. So for straight edges, just any old normal craft knife will work. They're not super expensive, so I do recommend, I have 2 here. This is my sharper knife, so I do not use it for kiss cutting. It's just, and when I put a brand new blade on, that makes it harder to control the amount of pressure it takes to cut just through the top sheet and not the backing. Let me grab, here are some other stickers I've made for my wellness planner, and you can see here, was not super successful in my kiss cutting efforts. Definitely cut all the way through the backing in some places and the sticker. So this is not a successful kiss cut. You don't want to do this. So my blade was was brand new, too sharp, my pressure was just too heavy that day. It's definitely something that takes some finesse. A lot of people don't try to do this. They've got the silhouettes or the crickets, and one of the main reasons for using those machines is because you can set the pressure on those to kiss cut, so you don't have to do it by hand. I have a silhouette. I've never set it up. Since I make my own stickers, I'm not sure how I would even program. It's probably not super hard, but it would be another step to program the machine to see the outline and cut around it, whereas when I do it by hand, I just do that by eye. So kiss cutting is the art of managing the pressure you're using when you use your knife to cut through the sticker and not the backing. So I use this knife for all my kiss cutting. It's a tiny bit dull, and I like that because it helps me control the pressure, and I try not to use this knife for other tasks so that I don't dull the blade faster, and I can keep this one and keep my consistent kiss cutting feel. This one, whenever I need to change the blade, I change the blade because I don't use it for kiss cutting. So just something that helps me be more successful kiss cutting is I have a blade that I favor for that. It's a slightly dull blade, and it helps me control the pressure better. For something like this page of florals, and even for the hearts on this page, you're going to have to cut some curves. So you could do a couple things. You could cut them out with scissors and then just play with it to get the backing off. But if you want to try to kiss cut these, and definitely you want to try to kiss cut these, I recommend this this kind of blade, and I will link all of this stuff in the description box. I just got this off of Amazon, but this is a curve cutter blade. So it's a teeny tiny little, I don't know if you can see it there. It's a teeny tiny little pointy blade, and it's white because it's ceramic. So it's not, you don't really change the blades on this one as much, if at all. But it's pointy so that you can kind of swish around and do curves. And I highly recommend grabbing one of these if you're going to do a lot of your own florals. Let's see. When you make your stickers for kiss cutting, a couple tips on that. For straight stickers, you can see how, for example, on this one, I have 1, 2, 3, and then this is 7 different stickers because these get cut this way, they're strips. And I've got them all aligned. So if you use a tool like Canva, which is what I used in my video on how to electronically set these up, keep them aligned as much as possible, because then you can put your ruler in one spot. Where'd my ruler go? You can align your ruler in one spot and make one big long cut and get all of these. You don't have to keep repositioning your ruler. So here's an example of one where I didn't do that, and I should have. I should have, if it would fit, and it looks like it would have, moved these boxes all over to be flush with this one. So again, I could make one big long cut to get all of those boxes. So when you're designing your stickers, keep that in mind. It's a big game of Tetris, to be honest. Same thing with the florals. You can see a lot of these florals I have coming up and being very, very, very close together. The more you can do that, the more you can just do one single cut. So for these two, this is a corner piece, and then this is just a mirrored second corner piece. But you can see I can run my knife down through in between these, and the gap between them is so small where I don't have to cut this one and then again cut this one. I can just kind of hit the center point and get them both, and it's just one less cut I need to do. So the closer you can position your stickers together, like this cluster here and this separate cluster here, I can thread this space with one cut and not have to do a separate cut for each floral. This one and this one, they're a little too far apart. I don't know if I want to leave that much clear matte edge on the stickers, so I might have to cut through there twice. So the closer you can put your stickers together, the better, because it's fewer cuts you have to do. What else? When you're working on cutting an entire sheet of stickers, I highly recommend you work from one side to the other, top to bottom. That way you don't lose your place. And you go, you put all your cutting stuff away, you go to use them in your planner, and you realize that you missed this sticker here in the middle and you really wanted to use it. So now you got to get everything back out, because you get into a flow. When you start to successfully kiss cut, your hand gets used to the pressure, and it's better to just cut the whole sheet and be done with it. And if you work from one edge to the other, so the example one I did in my video, I started here and I kind of cut most of the way up on this. This is a full length side. So what I'm going to do in this video is just continue and work my way kind of across and up. Just go in one direction so that you don't miss anything. And that's, honestly, that's about it. I'm just gonna show you a little bit of cutting curves and cutting straight, and I may just go ahead and cut the entire sheet and film it and put it to music and fast forward so you can see the whole thing. Don't panic if you cut all the way through the sheet. It happens. I showed you mine. I do it all the time. Cut part way, check the back to make sure you're not going all the way through. Adjust your pressure if you need to. Check every once in a while that you are getting cut through deep enough and your sticker will actually lift. And then just keep going. You can do this. It'll take a little bit of learning, but unless you cut the sticker in half, and even then you can probably still use it. So even if you cut all the way through, don't get frustrated. You can still use the sticker. It's just going to be a teeny bit harder to get the backing cut off. So let's see, I left off here. So this is one big long sticker that I had made to go down the center and get punched to go down the spine of my planner. So I'm just going to keep going on that and cut my way across this entire page. Hopefully you don't see too much of the top of my head and I stay on camera. So just picking up where I left off, doing some nice swoops, which is what this knife is great for. And then here I've got a very thin space in between these two stickers, but I did that on purpose again so that I could just cut one line and be done. There we go. So that, just checking that I cut through deep enough, and I did. All right. So I'm just going to work my way across. So now I can pick up where I left off on this line and continue around this sticker. And there are some white florals on this that might not be showing up on camera. So if it looks like I'm going around something that isn't there, it might just be something that's not showing up on camera. Another thing that you can do when you're done cutting is remove the negative space pieces. So like this space where there's nothing printed, once I get the sheet completely cut, I can check the quality of my kiss cutting by removing those pieces and tossing them. That'll also just make it that much easier to get my stickers off the page when I go to use them. There we go. All right. And part of the reason for putting these on clear sticker paper is so that you don't have to be as exact. So if it's got a little bit of a clear edge, that's okay. So here's a tiny little piece right here that I can go ahead and remove, and it popped right off. So that was a successful kiss cut there. You'll be able to see another nice bonus to using the cutting mat is it allows you to spin the sheet in all kinds of directions so that you can do one continuous cut once you get started, which is very helpful. And then you'll also see me pausing to remove the negative space pieces because again, this just helps you see where you might have missed a little point, where you still have yet to cut. Because on florals especially, it can be very hard to work in one direction across your page, as you've seen. So by continuing to remove the negative space pieces, you're identifying places where you still need to cut. All right, there we go. This entire sheet of florals is now cut out, and the negative space pieces have all been removed, so it is ready for me to use in my planner. Next, we'll go ahead and cut the paper sheet. So same exact thing on here, since I still have my curve cutting mindset going, and I already did this one. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of these hearts, and then we'll move on to the straight because everything else is straight. So it's pretty much going to look the same. You probably want to start trying your hand at kiss cutting on paper stickers. The sound and the feel and being able to see what you're doing, it's all a little bit easier in my opinion on paper. Sometimes it's really hard to see where you've cut on the clear matte sticker paper. And since it's kind of plasticky, it can be a little more difficult. You can score it but not cut all the way through. Paper's a bit more forgiving. All right, there we go. Let's just pick one at random and check it, and no problem at all. These are smaller and closer together, so this could be interesting. All right, let's see how I did on one of these. Yep, no problem. We got it. That is all of my heart-shaped boxes cut out. There we go. Now, let's do some straights. So, I left these, a lot of the stickers you see in sticker books, they cut in the center of a line. I have these sized so that in order for them to fit properly in the Happy Planner, I need to keep all of the color and cut right at the edge of the white. If I cut a tiny little bit off, it won't hurt anything, but I definitely want to keep most of it. So I'm just putting my straight edge right at the edge of the color. And then angle your knife just a little bit toward the straight edge so that you're sure to keep straight. It's another reason to use metal straight edge. So I know that was minuscule, but let's see, it should have. And it's really preference whether you come at the box, which side you come at the box from. The colored side or the white side, if you know what I mean. Sometimes it helps to put your point exactly where you want to be and then slide your ruler up against it and straighten it from there. That can help as well. Especially if you've got a case like this one where I've got red right up against green. And I want to try to get as close to right in the center as I can. It takes a while, but if they're colors that you can't find, if you're excited to have your boxes perfectly color coordinate with your florals, for me at least, I have the time and the patience, so I'm glad to do it. I've had a couple of people ask me if I sell these. I do not, because as you can see, it's time consuming and labor intensive, and sometimes the results are not perfect. But I encourage you to give it a try. put some good music on and just give it a go. They're a joy to work with when you can do it. So there we go. I will be using these in my spreads this week, so look for this for sure for my Valentine's Day week catch-all planner, possibly some other planners. The boxes I've got here are for any of my planners that I do. I've got a little bit of everything on here, so I know I won't use these all up. That way I can do more than one spread with them. So I hope you like this video. I hope it helps you out with your kiss cutting endeavors. Gives you the confidence to go ahead and give it a try. If it does, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.